Hello and welcome to another episode of HW Straight Drive with me, Anil Rajpurohit, and our sports editor Mahesh Kutti. The IPL is coming to the business end of the tournament, and every team is trying hard to reach the knockout stage. And several questions are being asked on their decision. The latest among being is Steve Smith replacing Ajinkya Rahane. So Mahesh, whether Ajinkya Rahane has been stepped down or he's been sacked by the Rajasthan Royals management?
I would be very surprised if he had stepped down because he is, remember, India's vice captain in Test cricket. So he's got a lot of experience as a vice captain. He's also captained India and has been fairly successful in the Test matches that he has captained. So it came as a big surprise to me that Ajinkya Rahane stepped down. But you know what? IPL franchisees put so much of pressure on these players that if you don't perform, you have to perish. So Virat Kohli should be very thankful to the management of the RCB that despite he not winning for so many years, they still continued him as the captain. With Rahane, of course, they didn't show so much of leniency, and there he is. But I think if you have been taken away from the captain's post, then the next question is, will he be able to keep his post, keep his place in the team as a batsman?
Like
because
what they did with Gautam Gambhir in the Delhi Capital.
Very true. Now the thing is that he has not been fairly successful as a batsman also. So there must be now the pressure must be mounting on him. Next, you won't be surprised if they drop him from the play.
Does his stepping down will impact the team's performance?
Surprisingly, they won yesterday. So which means that as a captain, he was not able to actually inspire a lot of confidence. Smith has been the captain for Australia for many years, so he knows the captain's role. So it was a very smooth transition. Remember, Smith would have been the captain had he not been involved in the controversy last time. So very, very, very sad that Ajinkya Rahane could not remain as captain for so long.
Another question about the team's decision is that Dhoni was being dropped in the last match, and eventually Chennai Super Kings lost.
I don't think Dhoni was dropped. I think Dhoni was injured. He could have played, but he didn't want to stretch his luck too much. So he was replaced by Suresh Raina. Yeah, Dhoni is Dhoni. See, the spinners actually bowl the way Dhoni wants them to bowl. So Dhoni's contribution to the team, apart from being a good batsman, is being able to tell the spinners what to bowl from behind the stumps. That did not come through the other day, and there it was. They really struggled.
Another question, like every IPL fan or every sports fan is asking, is whether RCB will win the next games, because they're constantly losing. They won one or two matches, they again lost, and AB de Villiers has been missing in the team. He's in splendid performance, and though he's been injured and he's been in and out, so will this impact RCB's performance?
You know, RCB is playing fearless cricket, and a team that plays fearless cricket can always be dominant. AB de Villiers not playing only made Virat Kohli believe that he has to take the responsibility of batting through. And that's what he did, and he scored a century. Brilliant century. And that's how they scored 214. Though KKR really played well and they lost by just 10 runs, RCB did show the world that they are still in contention of making it to the playoff. Remember, if they win all the rest of the games, they could still make it. Highly unlikely, because it's very difficult in this format to win all the games. But you never know. Cricket is a funny game. Virat will try his level best. And the best thing is that they're going out and enjoying themselves. There's no more pressure because they know that they've got nothing to lose. In that kind of a scenario, they can be party spoilers. Like what we mentioned in our earlier show, RCB is the most difficult team to play today.
Talking about that KKR versus RCB game, Andre Russell, KKR star performer, questioned his batting position. He said that he was supposed to come before Rana. Do you think that decision made KKR lose the match?
No doubt, because had he come in a little ahead, he would have had more balls to play. Uthappa played a very slow innings. He consumed a lot of balls. When Russell came into bat, there was no hope that he was able to take the game. He almost got the game back to KKR. Is just shows the guy's immense potential as a finisher. It was really bad luck that he got run out, and there was too much for him to have made in the last few overs. So it was very difficult, even for a batsman of Andre Russell's potential. But let me tell you, he should have batted at least one position up, because that would have given him a little more of deliveries to bat, and he could have really changed the complexion.
Another question about KKR, like what's wrong with KKR? A week before they were at the second spot. Now they come back to the sixth spot. What's wrong with the KKR team?
No, this is the greatness of this IPL franchisee tournament. You will be playing very well. You will be number one, number two position. You have a string of bad games. See, all these games can go either way. There is no team that can go to the ground saying that we're definitely going to win the game. So you lose a couple of games, then you get into this bad habit of losing, and then you start losing all the close games. And suddenly you find you've lost 3 or 4 games in a row, and the rest of the world has gone ahead of you. That's exactly what's happened to two teams, KKR and Sunrisers. Both of them looked very sure
Top of the table.
making it to the playoffs, maybe about 10 days into the tournament. Right now, both are struggling, and they might, one of them might not even make it to the last 4.
Talking about change of positions, Delhi Capitals a week or 2 weeks before were really struggling to win these games, and now they are like a team altogether different. Do you think the management is playing a bigger role in the revival of?
You know what? They lost a match which they should have won. Was the match against Punjab.
They lost 7 quick wickets
for 8 runs or something, where Karan got a hat trick. Now what has happened is they have been able to overcome that debacle, and they've come back very strongly. You're right. They've got great captains in their team. They've got Ricky Ponting and they've got Sourav Ganguly. Ricky Ponting, remember, is a World Cup winner. Sourav Ganguly took India into the World Cup final. So they've got great minds there. And when you've got great minds there, they tell you how to come out of a defeat. See, you're going to lose. There's no doubt about that. Every team who's going to play this tournament will lose. But the teams that come out of it quickly are the teams that will go on to win the tournament. Sourav Ganguly and Ricky Ponting have told the team that what has happened, look forward. And that's exactly why they've been able to perform so well.
Another discussion been made is like the BCCI has announced 3 backup players, Navdeep Saini, Rishabh Pant and Ambati Rayudu. Do you think the team been announced, does this backup players really have a chance to make it to the final team?
I think it's a joke, because the cutoff date is May 23rd, about a week before the World Cup starts. Now, how are we going to assess them? How are we going to assess the current set of players and going to tell them, you know what, you're not good enough, you need to come back. If it is only in case there is an injury, one of these 3 are going to go, I accept it. It's a good idea, because what happens is these 3 players will be training at the NCA and are ready to fly at the moment there is an injury. But on form, I don't think any of them should be able to go.
And what do you have to speak about Ambati Rayudu's tweet that he's buying a new pair of 3D glasses to watch the World Cup?
I know what. Ambati Rayudu must have been quite sure that he's going to make it into the team because of his recent performance in New Zealand, where he played some very good innings. However, the management thought otherwise, the selectors thought otherwise. So it's a disappointed Rayudu who is making that statement. But he's been taken as, like what you mentioned, he's been taken as a backup player. So he should keep his fingers crossed, because you never know. Some player could get injured and he could be on his way to England.
Hope we get to see a lot of good matches in the upcoming matches. Till then, it's goodbye from all of us.
Now be the first to know about the latest updates on our new news app. Go on your Android or iOS, search for HW News Network. Download our app, choose the language you prefer to get updates in, and be up to date with the latest news.